In cinema, first you had the moving picture, then talkies. Colour film was the next landmark. It's safe to say that cinema as an art form changed forever when Star Wars A New Hope was released. George Lucas created his in-house special effects company, ILM, or Industrial Light and Magic, and from that day, movies never looked the same. Always at the forefront of visual technology, ILM has given us some of the greatest moments of movie magic over the past 50 years. We're here to celebrate those moments, but first here's Neil with some ILM facts.
Hi guys, well, thank you very much for having me again, and let's see if we can get you some special and effective facts for you. See what I did there? See what I did? ILM was founded by George Lucas on May the 26th, 1975, specifically to create effects for Star Wars A New Hope. ILM started with just 25 people in a warehouse and has grown to employ over 3,500 visual effects professionals across 5 countries. ILM's work on Star Wars revolutionized the film industry, and they continue to push the boundaries with films such as The Abyss, Terminator 2, and even Pirates of the Caribbean. ILM created the first entirely computer-generated cinematic image sequence for Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. The image processing program that became Adobe Photoshop was initially developed at ILM by John Knoll and his brother Thomas. ILM's influence extends beyond science fiction. They worked on films like Young Sherlock Holmes, featuring the first 3D CGI character, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and Harry Potter. They won their first Oscar for Best Visual Effects with Star Wars A New Hope in 1977. Industrial Light and Magic, ILM, has won 16 Academy Awards for Best Visual Effects. They've also received 40 additional nominations for the same category. In addition to these, ILM has been awarded 24 scientific and technical awards from the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. And ILM has worked on over 350 feature films, making them the most successful special effects company. Have a great evening, guys. See you soon.
Thank you, Neil. Perfectly done. Yes, here's another toughie, is all I'm going to say. And to join me, it's our Disney correspondent, as I'd like to call her now. From the Jamie and Stephen show, the podcast, it's Jamie. Hello, Jamie. Welcome back.
Hello.
So good to have you back.
Oh, I'm so glad to be back, and I'm so excited for this one.
I say I'm glad to have you back. This was your idea.
It was.
So the weird thing is because I think, like you, like me, you're in this kind of bubble. So things like ILM and special effects and those kind of movies are part of your world. When for the honourable mentions, I put out online, what's your greatest ILM moments? I had so many people messaging me saying, what's ILM? I don't understand what ILM is. And I thought, we're not going to get as many honourable mentions as I thought we might get for this episode. So maybe that's my fault because I put ILM instead of just explaining in messages on social media, what's your favourite special effects from Industrial Light and Magic. Yeah. But, you've only got a certain amount of characters. You can't go writing out Industrial Light and Magic all the time. ILM is perfect. But anyway, why did you come up with this? Why did you come up with this, Jamie?
Well, if I remember rightly, I mentioned special effects when I was on talking about Disney moments, and I talked about the cornflake snow on Bambi, and I'd said how I love those things and how they take something like cornflakes and turn it into snow. And I think I mentioned ILM then, and then when we finished.
Yeah, to be fair, I think I said
that would be a good top 10.
To be fair, I did say that would be a great one. That would be a great one because there are so many. we've said before so many times on this podcast that we hate using the I word, iconic, but I think like the John Williams episode, there are so many iconic ILM moments, Industrial Light and Magic, that you don't, I think you also take it for granted a little bit as well. So, I mean,
big time, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about you. I mean, I'm obviously a lot older than you are, so I can remember being blown away by Star Wars when I saw it on the big screen for the first time, because I'd never seen anything like that. I used to love things like Jason and the Argonauts and the Ray Harryhausen stop motion.
Yeah,
things.
I watched all of that with my grandma. So I had seen
that makes me feel even older.
No, I mean, I was born in 86, so you know.
Well, there you go. You see, there's almost a generation between us, so that's
okay.
So that's
so it didn't make you feel better then.
Yeah. I mean, you're just piling it on today, Jamie. You are. But it is that thing of like, again, well, I was born in 1969, so I can remember watching things like Jason and the Argonauts and thinking, how are they doing that? How are they having like skeletons there, like fighting against the real people? And so then when you get a little bit older, you realize that, okay, it's stop motion and it looks a little bit janky. But then when you come to something like Star Wars that looked so real, then you think, well, how are they doing this? And to be fair, I still don't understand how they did it in those days.
And Neil mentioning Star Trek 2, I loved the Star Trek films when I was a kid.
Right.
I didn't really get into the series because by the time, like, it was Star Trek Generation that was, so the original series wasn't on the TV, not that I remember anyway, whereas the films, oh my God, if ever they were shown on ITV or, you know, at Christmas time, whatever, I always watched them. So, and finding out now that, ILM were responsible for that as well.
Yeah.
No wonder I liked it.
Yeah. But I think, don't you think, like, today, they obviously use so much CGI and stuff that even just like they'll make a street look different, that you don't realize that it's special effects, and it kind of takes the speciality out of it a little bit. Yeah.
I think I actually wrote down a really interesting quote by James Cameron, and he said, it's almost like we've come full circle. We now have to be telling a damn good story with good characters, and the effects are more of a given. And that is so true.
Yeah, absolutely. You take
it for granted now. Like, I remember when was it the Eternals? I think it was the Eternals when that came out, the Marvel film.
Yeah.
And everyone was slating it for the special effects because it just wasn't up to standard. Obviously, we didn't know that in the background it's because they made a load of cuts.
Yeah.
And to the special effects department at Marvel, and the fact that people are critiquing that now. You know, it's like important to them when they go to the cinema, you know, paying a lot of money in, it better be blowing my mind.
Yeah, I agree. And it's also when the bit that I always go back to is Henry Cavill's top lip in the original Justice League, that you see that how bad that was because he had a moustache and they had to try and get rid of his moustache when he was Superman. Did you ever see that version of Justice League? Have you never seen that?
Is this on the director's cut that's like 4 hours?
No. The director's cut is fantastic.
Okay.
This was the Joss Whedon version.
Oh, right.
And because they had to do loads of reshoots, they brought Henry Cavill back, but he was filming Mission Impossible at the time. And it was in his contract that he wasn't allowed to shave his moustache off. So they had to CGI his moustache off, and it's the first thing. It's like phone footage of Superman talking to these two kids, and it is the worst thing you've ever seen in your life. It looks awful, and
I don't remember that. I'm gonna have to Google it.
You have to. I'll put it in the video show notes for all the top heads, for the Patreon top heads. But I can remember being in the cinema and. Obviously, it's blown up on a massive screen, and you see Henry Cavill, and people were looking at each other going, what the fuck is this?
Why did they not think to go over that in editing? Like, why did they think
because
that
they couldn't do anything. He was contractually obliged that he had to keep his moustache, so they did the best they could. And like you say, they're having a quick turner. So every time, you know, it's a reshoot, because every time Henry Cavill has got this janky, like, bottom half of his face, and it looks awful. Apart from the fact that the whole film was terrible. The Zack Snyder version, the 4-hour version, is brilliant. I really, really like it. But there's no janky top lip, and that's the first, like, 2 minutes of the movie, and you think, oh my god, this is gonna be awful. So, but like I say, you wouldn't, 30 years ago, it would have been the height of technology to be able to do something like that. You wouldn't have thought anything of it, but because technology is so great these days, you take it for granted. I feel that you take special effects, but there's nothing I can remember now that really makes me go, wow. Maybe Avengers Assemble, that final, the battle scene. Apart from that, I can't think of anything that I see in a superhero movie or any movie that makes me go, wow, look at that. It's really hard.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah, probably Endgame, like that whole last 45 minutes. Yeah, I would say that, because which we've had this conversation before. I do like the episode 7, 8, 9 of Star Wars, and there are some scenes in there but it wasn't really the special effects that blew my mind necessarily. It was just particular, like, fights and stuff. But whereas in Endgame, it's like some of the long shots, or some of the, like, when Spider-Man swings up to Iron Man and the suit comes apart, and he's like, and then that is such a good scene. He's flown in and he's like, oh, are you okay? And he's trying to describe how, I was there and then you were gone. Yeah.
Oh, don't, you'll start me off. I'll start
crying. I know, it's so good.
It gets you every time. Okay, it's going to, like I say, it's going to be interesting. Oh, before we actually dive in, we should do this.
Lisa's Challenge.
What are you saying?
Thank you, Lisa. Okay, so how many duplicates do you think we're going to have, Jamie?
I think we're going to have 6.
Oh, see, I think some of these moments are so iconic that everybody should have them in their top 10. So,
okay, yeah,
I mean, six is a great shout. That's the thing. 6 is I'm going to go 5 then. I'm going to go 5. But we'll see. So kick us off then, Jamie. What's your number 10?
Okay, right. My number 10 ILM moment is digital film.
Oh, right. Okay, just in general. The
actual creation of digital film. So just so people are aware, I've written a little thing about how it all came about. So, very brief. George Lucas championed the widespread adoption of digital film technology in Hollywood, with Star Wars Episode 2 Attack of the Clones being the first major blockbuster entirely shot with digital cameras. Lucas collaborated with Sony and Panavision to develop the technology which enabled instant footage playback and increased flexibility. So he got Sony to build the cameras and Panavision to build the lenses. And this meant that obviously then needed theatres to have digital projectors. And Episode 1, there was only 4 theatres that had them. But by Episode 2, he made sure more, and there ended up being 200. Obviously now it's
the
norm.
But that was the thing of people like George Lucas. They're ahead of the curve. They're creating the curve. That's the thing with people like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's like it was the same with ILM back in the day when they had the movie sort of ready, but they had like maybe a 10th of the shots they needed. And they're working at that's what I love. It's the practicality of working out, we need to do this. We haven't got the technology to do it, so we need to create it.
Yeah.
It's not waiting for somebody else to do it so they can jump on the bandwagon. That's the beauty of things like ILM and Spielberg and George Lucas. they're not ahead of the curve. They create the curve.
Yeah.
And that is just what is so mind-boggling about those kind of guys. And that's why they're multi-billionaires as well, to be fair. You know.
There is a really good documentary about it as well called Side by Side, which is produced by the darling Keanu Reeves. And he interviews all your top directors from Coppola to Scorsese, Spielberg, Lucas, Chris Nolan, Danny Boyle, like loads. And he gets them to tell their, like, what side they're on, film or digital. You can kind of guess who's who. And yeah, because apparently, like, George Lucas had like this big meeting at his ranch and invited all his buddies and all these other film people. And I think there was like 300 of them, and only like a handful of them were interested. And this was back in 99.
Yeah.
In 2000. And and he was like devastated because he was like, come on, I'm trying to make your job easy. I want my job to be easy. Why are you not getting on board with this? And
I can remember watching the DVD extras of Attack of the Clones where they're showing like all the different cameras and the fact that they had like this box full of what would they been, like discs or whatever it was that went into the cameras instead of using rolls of film. And it was just like boxes and boxes. So whereas you used to have these massive cans of actual cine film, this was like just little memory cards, if you like. And that was the future. And you know, it's amazing. It's amazing. You've got to just be impressed by people like that. That, you know, we if it wasn't for people like that, we'd still be living in the Stone Age. I know. You know.
So that was my top.
That's 10. That's a great one. That's a great one. Thinking out of the box is a great.
Yes, I was. Yeah, there. I think there's one more out of the box.
Oh, nice. Okay. So we were talking beforehand about whether E.T. was one of them. My number 10 is going to be the iconic bike over the moon. In E.T. So I mean, I'm sure that people will email us if we do get this wrong and it's not specifically ILM. I actually pulled somebody up on the honourable mentions when they mentioned something which we'll get to and said that it wasn't ILM. But anyway, we don't want to get too nerdy.
No, but I know that Dennis Leram did work on it. So, and he is ILM. He's
Mr. ILM. Yeah, indeed.
He's one of the originals. So
indeed, and you can't get. I mean, so this is the other thing. I'm looking at it from when I saw it when it first came out. I mean, you look at any of these 70s, 80s special effects against today's special effects, they look janky and they look a bit weird and they don't look amazing. But I'm trying to think of them when I first saw them, and I can remember that shot was, apart from the whole ending of E.T., which just had me crying, still makes me cry. You know, I'll be right here and. And then the spaceship just shoots off into with that amazing John Williams score. It's just fantastic. But the bit that I always remember is when they're flying over, you know, the silhouette they're silhouetted over, you know, against the moon. It's just so iconic that Steven Spielberg used that as his Amblin logo for his company. So I feel it's one that sort of has to be in the top 10. It's one of those. You know, it's like Thriller with Michael Jackson. It's got to be in there. So,
when I was a kid, I believed that he was real.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, I didn't see that it was a puppet.
Absolutely.
You know?
And that was another beautiful thing about
to me.
Yeah, those.
And then when my family went to Universal and met him, you know, and went on the bike ride.
Yeah.
You know,
that is a great ride. That is a great. We went up there last year, and we just thought, all right, let's go and have a look. 'Cause it's going to be a bit hokey, and it was brilliant. It is one of the best rides in Universal, without a shadow of a doubt. Such a good ride. I hope they don't
take it away.
I hope not. Because it's sort of tucked away in the corner of the park, and we just stumbled across it, and we thought, well, we got to go on it. Let's go on it, and it was just such a sweet, really, really good ride.
And did you play the music?
Yeah, plays the music. You're on a bike, and you're up above LA or whatever the city is. It's just great. It's such a great ride. Oh dear. Okay, your number 9 then, please.
Okay, my number 9 is Iron Man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Iron Man, I mean, it's the first Marvel, I don't count the Hulk.
No.
Don't. And the Incredible Hulk, well, yeah, okay, we've got that little bit at the end, but no, it's Iron Man.
Yeah. Is there a specific bit of Iron Man?
It's the suit.
The
It's
suit.
the whole coming apart. You know what it is? It's, you know, when he walks out of the suit and the suit just comes away from him as he's walking, like, and so like when I read up about this, when I found out that was ILM, I was like, oh, I've got to put that in my top 10 because wow, I remember like, and like even when he makes the first one, is like, I love how they don't make it shiny. It is like it's handmade. And apparently like Jon Favreau was not about like special effects. When he took on the project, he said, yeah, okay. He says, yeah, no, I was impressed by some special effects, but really I just wanted to try and stay away. And he had Stan Winston make a real suit.
Yeah.
But some guys at ILM were like, look, let's just show you. We'll show you what we can do. And, you know, and he was impressed. But he still wanted a real suit. So he got them to work together because he said he didn't want people to watch the film and go, oh, yeah, well, that's CGI for you. They can do. He wanted people to question, oh, is he wearing a real suit? Yeah. And I believe that he was in a real suit most of the time. But yeah, it was half and half. And he said to ILM, I don't want it to be clean. I want it to look, you know, like people can't tell what's Winston's suit and what's CGI.
And that's the beauty of good special effects, is that even something as fantastical as a man in an iron suit flying around, you don't know what's practical and what's CGI. No. And that's the mark of like great CGI, is that you can't tell the difference. Yeah.
No.
Great one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't put that one in there. I should have. I feel like I've missed a whole
There's too many. There's too many. That's the problem.
Indeed. Okay, my number 9, again, from this movie, I could have chosen anything. So the movie is Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Oh, okay.
But I'm going to choose Jessica Rabbit just because, you know, I could do a good carry-on joke here and say there's 2 reasons why I've chosen Jessica Rabbit. But, I mean, she's not bad. She was just drawn that way, you know. But anything from Who Framed Roger Rabbit is mind-boggling. And when you see the making of and how Bob Hoskins had to do certain things to pretend that he's holding on to the neck of a weasel, or he's got the handcuffs, and Roger Rabbit 1 minute is in and 1 minute is out. But it always feels to me like it was kind of Jessica Rabbit was rotoscoped, you know, where there was actually somebody there and they drew around her, because her movement is so real. It just feels so real. Yeah. But like I say, I mean, I could just put Who Framed Roger Rabbit as number 9, but specifically I'm going to put Jessica Rabbit because I'm a sexist pig. I'm sorry. I just am.
Dr. Doom, when he gets run over by the
my god,
me out as a kid, and it was the screaming, you know, and the eyes popped.
My god, that is genuinely a shocking moment in a movie. And also when he kills the Toons as well.
I know.
When that oh my god.
Oh. Yeah. I know. Me and Stephen did a bonus episode on Roger Rabbit when we were in like the 80s era.
Yeah.
Because we just couldn't not, because it was just such a pivotal time at Disney where, you know, they'd gone back to like Mary Poppins, sort of doing the combined animation and real life, and it's such a good film. Okay, that's my number 9. So your number 8 then, please. Right, I think you might have this one.
Okay,
Terminator 2.
Yeah.
The T-1000.
I do. That's my number 5. I do.
Okay.
Another iconic, one of those iconic moments. You know, the kids from today might look at it and go, "Oh, that's a bit crap, isn't it? That's a bit."
No,
shit.
I still look at it now and I think, wow.
Yeah.
And the bit that always gets me is, when he goes through the bars and the gun stops.
Yes, exactly. They're those moments that normal people wouldn't think. They would just, the hand would have just carried on through.
Yeah.
But perfect. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
I know, like, she's not, because it's not Robert Patrick, but the scene where she's on the phone and her hand is got in the fridge.
Yeah.
Is it the dad? She's killed the dad.
Yeah.
Oh, and that arm.
Yeah.
I honestly, I was like, oh my God, how did they do that?
Yeah. And when you've got the prison guard where his finger goes into a long point and he stabs what in real life was his twin. That's how they filmed it.
Yes, that's
twin,
right. Yeah.
And stabbed him through the head. And it's
But the running of, because like, I think it was like the first time they did the dots.
That's right.
They put the dots, because I wrote it down, where they combined traditional and computer generated techniques, including painting a grid on Robert Patrick to track movement, using laser scanning to digitize his form, and CG animation to model and animate the liquid metal.
There you go. And that was 1991.
Yeah, I want to say 91.
It was 91, I think it was.
Yeah, because the first one was 84?
Yeah, something like that. It's
yeah.
I mean, apart from the fact that it's one of the greatest movies ever made.
Oh, I preferred it to the first one.
I did as well, and to have that as the thing. Well, with the first Terminator, like, you couldn't kill him. You couldn't kill Arnie. It was very hard to kill him because he just came and came and came. Mm-hmm. But with the T2, it was like he was like this slithery snake that there was no way. How do you kill Liquid? Even if you blast him apart, he just starts getting back together again. It's just an iconic ding.
Yeah.
But so that's your number 8 and that's my number 5.
There we go. Our first
duplicate. First one. Okay, my number 8. Now, a lot of these are all like space battles and bing bang bosh, whiz poof, and all these things. I'm going for something that's just delicate and was very, very clever. Okay. So I'm going for Forrest Gump, and I'm going for the feather. Feather at the start. Now, it wasn't until years later, and I love Forrest Gump. I've always loved that movie. Hope Law's not listening. It was one of the first pirate things I ever copied off of like a DVD or a video. So I had my own copy of it. Mm-hmm. And I watched it over and over again. And it's that first moment when you see the feather is flying in the wind and then lands on Forrest's shoe, and it's a perfect way of bringing the camera in to see who Forrest sat on the bench. And then I remember seeing a thing, and my God, it was all CGI. It wasn't like a real feather that they had on a string or something. No, but it looked so realistic. Yeah, and it's a beautiful way to bookend the movie, because the movie then ends with a feather flying off
when the boy goes to school.
Oh my God, it is just one of those.
It's my husband's favourite film.
Right.
And I remember seeing it, and when it first came out, I think I was like 7, 8. It was 94. So it would have been. I think
it was in 94.
And it wasn't really my kind of film back then. But I knew it was hyped. He won the Oscar, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And then when I met my husband and he told me that was one of his favourite films, I was like, really? And then we watched it together. And we have it on all the time.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's got one of the evilest villains in cinematic history, as far as I'm concerned. Jenny. She's just she was in my top 10 movie villains. I think she was number 4. I think she beat out Darth Vader in my
my God.
10. She's just one of the worst human beings ever in the world.
It is. It's awful how she treats him.
She's terrible.
And then to keep his son away from him and them not know. Awful.
And then when she's ill, starts saying, let's get together, and then get married and then go off and die. How dare you? That's just terrible. But you know, it's a beautiful movie. It's so brilliantly made as well.
Yeah.
With all the face swapping, and he goes into history and meets JFK.
Yeah.
And
yeah, and he says, I need to pee.
Yeah. I love all
and the ping pong, apparently.
And the ping pong.
Yeah.
That was all. There wasn't an actual table tennis ball there, a ping pong ball there at all. Brilliantly done. Okay.
And I thought he'd practiced for months.
I mean, anybody can swing a bat like that, can't they? If you can put a CGI ping pong ball in there, I'm going to look amazing. So that'd be great. Yeah, need to work out how to do CGI, I think. That was my number 8. So you're number 7 then, please, Jamie.
Right. I think you're definitely going to have this as well. Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Which bit of Raiders?
So when the Ark is opened.
Oh.
No? Oh, I'm shocked.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
it's number 7 for you. So when the Ark is opened, yeah?
Yeah. So again, I've written a little... So, because when I was a kid, again, this was a film. It was one of my dad's favourites. We had on all the time. And, oh, my God, it gave me nightmares.
I bet.
Because I believed... I wasn't a believer, and I still aren't, but it was still, like, I believed that like
that was the power of God.
Understand how those faces melted. I didn't, and it was like, and it scared me for
I can imagine
a very long time. But obviously, growing up and watching it now, I'm like, yes, melt those Nazis, burn them.
yeah, absolutely.
But I just wrote down like how they did a couple of the effects. So, you know, the spirits that come out.
Mm-hmm.
So that was done in a cloud tank, which was also used for the cloud above where they're digging.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So it's science stuff. I don't know, but they mix things and it forms this cloud in a tank of water. And they made these puppets on a string and they just like flowed them around. So that's how they got that. And then the 3 faces. So they had all the actors had their faces made out of plasticine.
Yeah,
so like a model face.
Yeah.
And then that was stuck on a body. So Dietrich,
yeah.
Dietrich. They, hold on, I wrote it down. Yeah. They filled an inflatable bladder inside with air. And then when they were filming, the air was sucked out. And that's how they got the,
that's how that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. And one of them, I think it's, I can't remember his name. It's the one with the glasses.
Tote is his name.
Yes.
Yeah.
They
Ronald Lacey was
melted it with a hairdryer.
That's right. Yeah.
So yeah, like, and knowing how they all did that, and it was what's his name? I wrote his name down. Sorry,
That's
just
okay.
annoy me because I wrote the guy's name. It's Richard Edlund.
That's right.
He was involved, and I think Joe Johnston. Yeah, Joe Johnston as well, who directed Captain America. But yeah, so I mean, fab how they came up, because again, I don't know if you found this out, but Stephen and George didn't actually know how they were going to do that. They just had written in the script, the Nazis have to have this horrific death.
This was a lot of George Lucas used to do a lot of that in his scripts. He would write like they fight, and they do this, and then he would say that he'll just let ILM work it out. Yeah, they can work out how it's going to happen. Yeah,
and this was one of those.
Yeah, I used to devour, like, whenever Raiders or Indy or any of the Star Wars films came out, they'd make a making of.
Yeah.
And then they put it on the TV. It'd be on like ITV on like Christmas or whatever. And I remember watching the Raiders one because it was, is it Paul Freeman who plays Belloc? I think it was his name. So he's the one that's doing the actual ceremony. He's the main baddie.
Yes.
And he had to have that like plasticine stuff, whatever it's called, like the plaster all over his face so they could make a mold of his head. And then he's going like this because he's screaming because he's like all on fire, and then his head explodes. But when they did it, they filled like his head full of squishy stuff to make it look like his head, but they had to then superimpose flames over the top of the picture because it looked so realistic that they weren't going to get a PG certificate. It would be an 18 because it's got somebody's like scanners. Like someone's head is going to explode. So if you notice in the film, you can barely see his head because there's just flames in front of it. You can't see it. But I used to devour those because it tells you how they do these things, and it's like sometimes really, really ridiculous, stupid things, like you say, sucking the air out of something. But the way that they make it look is just scary. I mean, like I say, Tote, the Ronald Lacey one where his face melts and you can see like his teeth just falling out. It's just horrible.
And it's the fact as well that they had a skeleton behind it as well. And
also the fact the way that it moves and like the eyes like roll into the back of his head.
I know.
Oh my God.
So you can imagine, I'm 6 years old and my mom's like, oh yeah, it's a PG, you can watch this.
It's genuinely, there's people being shot in the head. There's, it's not a PG movie. It
wouldn't get that rating now.
Oh no, definitely not. Definitely not. But it's a good one. It's just a great one. Yeah. Okay. My number 7. I still today, even when seeing the special effects and the making ofs of this, don't know how they did it. But I'm going to go with Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest, and Davy Jones.
Okay.
Which is the Bill Nye. Is it Bill Nye?
Yes.
Yeah, Bill Nye. It's the eyes. Whenever you get a full CG character that's supposed to be human, the uncanny valley of the eyes and the mouth, like when you watch Polar Express and things like that, it doesn't quite look right because the mouth's never right. The eyes always look dead. But when they actually, same with like Planet of the Apes and Andy Serkis and Planet of the Apes, and they use the actual actor's eyes, Andy Serkis in The Last Jedi when he was Snoke, it looks amazing. And Davy Jones, where he's got all these tentacles going off doing all these different things and seawater spluttering out of his mouth, it is just amazing how they do it. And I know that it's someone at a computer for hours and hours and hours programming and editing and animating. I just find it like enthralling. Sometimes I don't listen to what they're saying. I'm just too busy watching what is happening on the screen with that.
No, that's a good one. And I think it was that John Knoll. He worked on
I think it was
Pirates.
I think it was. He's got a lot to answer for, John Knoll.
I know. I love John Knoll. If I met him in real life, I would be like most people would be with an actor, I would be. I know I would go speechless because my brain would freeze because it would be stuck with how many questions I would want to ask.
Yeah, and he's famously the one that came up with the idea for Rogue One as well. He went to Kathleen Kennedy and he said, in the crawl of the first Star Wars movie, Episode 4, he says in there something like a band of spies have got the data for the Death Star. And he said, why don't we do that story? Why don't we do that story of the band of spies getting the data for the Death Star? And that's where Rogue One started from. Oh well, I never knew that. Love him even more. With that, we had Andor, so we got a lot to thank him for. Bless him. Yeah. Okay, so that was my number 7. Your number 6, then, please. Okay, Dragonheart. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Draco in particular. So if it's one of those films that people don't remember or has been forgotten, but I went to the cinema to see it, and I was a huge Sean Connery fan. So when I found out that he was the voice of Draco as well, and David Thewlis is the baddie. Yeah. Perfect voice for a dragon, though. Oh, Sean Connery. Oh my God. So good. Yeah, love that film. Isn't that Dennis Quaid as well? It is. Dennis Quaid. With his not so English accent. Sort of Kevin Costner, Prince of Thieves English accent. They don't care, do they?
Yeah.
It's
The movie was good. Oh, I loved it as a kid. Absolutely loved it. I mean, okay, when I watch it now, it's like, yeah, it's not one of those where I think, oh God, why did I like this? I still will watch it.
I haven't seen that for years.
Yeah, I think I watched it about 2 years ago, and I can't remember how. I think it was just randomly on. It was either on Amazon Prime, and it was like, oh, I've not watched this in years. Let's stick this on. And I wanted to see if the boys would watch it, because it's a dragon.
Yeah.
They didn't, but
no,
I did.
yeah, I'm gonna have to have a look and see if it must be on like Disney Plus or something. Surely.
No,
really?
I don't think so. I don't think so. But I think it was Amazon that I watched it on.
Oh right, okay. I'll have a little look for that then.
So it was Rob Coleman who animated Draco, and he's responsible for Jar Jar.
That's right.
And he said that he wanted to take expressions from Sean, because he wanted people to believe like that Sean is genuinely the voice of this dragon. Like this is his dragon's voice. And he did a clip for a test screening of a James Bond clip, and it's when he says there's no dragons in Doctor No.
Right.
When he's on the beach with Ursula and the guy that helps him out. Anyway, and it was that clip, and he put that with the dragon, and he says like how his lips move, and he put that in, and
it's great.
Yeah, and I mean, this is before Jar Jar. This is before Yoda, digital Yoda, and so really this is like first major digital character, really.
Yeah.
So
that's a great one. I didn't even think of Dragonheart, I must admit, but that's a great. And I forgot his name was Draco as well.
Yeah,
that's a Harry Potter name, isn't it, Draco?
It is Draco Malfoy.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. See? Okay, that's your number 6. So my number 6, we're going to dip into Star Wars. So Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, and this is the Death Star battle. This is when you've got Admiral Akbar and they're all coming into well, you're hoping that Han has brought the shield down so that Lando can start the drive into the Death Star. But there's one particular scene where it is nothing but, I think the Millennium Falcon is coming towards you, and there are just TIE fighters and X-Wings and God knows what just going everywhere. The most ships I've seen on a screen in one go. Now, in those days, what you'd have to do, and this is what, again, the thing that ILM introduced and invented, was the motion control camera. So it'd be computerized, where the camera would be doing the same movements over and over again, and they would do different passes and put in another element, so another ship and another ship. Yeah. But there were so many ships that you have to think how many times they did these passes to put another ship in and another ship in. And even now, I think to myself, okay, with today's technology, that would be relatively easy. Yeah. How the piece of film didn't just wither away because of the amount of exposures they're giving to that, it's mind-boggling that they would have had to do that in the way that they're doing, almost physically having to film it each time. It's one of the greatest battles, like movie starship battles, if you like, space battles I've ever seen, and it still holds up today, and it had to be in my top 10.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, there you go. But I mean, I could do my whole top 10 on Star Wars, but I know even I'm getting bored of talking about Star Wars on every episode. Even if it's a Taylor Swift episode, I'll do Star Wars in there.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I could have easily just filled it with Star Wars, but I was strict.
Yes, you have to be. I feel you have to be. That was my number 6, so we're halfway through. So it's time for this.
Okay.
Pop quiz, hot shot.
Oh.
Okay, so what I've done here is, like we normally do with movies, is I've got some taglines for posters. But these are movies that obviously ILM have worked on.
Right, okay. Oh, that's a good one.
So some of these might be easy, some of these might be difficult, but here we go. Here's number 1. They're here. They're here.
Or is that a poltergeist?
All right.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
They're
1 out of 1.
here.
Number 2.
I nearly had that in my top 10.
Did you?
Yeah.
I was listening to a podcast today about poltergeists, and it kind of brought back all the memories. Yeah, exactly. And that was done with an industrial vacuum cleaner.
I know.
Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Anyway, number 2.
Okay.
A boy who needs a friend finds a world that needs a hero. A boy who needs a friend finds a world that needs a hero.
It's not E.T., is it? Is it E.T.?
Way wrong answer.
Yeah, no, I didn't think.
It's Never Ending Story.
Of course! Oh my god!
Okay, number 3. He was never in time for his classes. He was never in time for his dinner. Then one day, he wasn't in his time at all.
Is it Back to the Future?
All right.
Yes, it is. Number 4. The hunt is on. The hunt is on.
I want to say Jurassic Park. Is it Lost World?
Way wrong answer.
Oh!
No, it's The Hunt for Red October.
Oh!
Another Sean Connery movie.
Yeah. What about that one? Yeah.
Okay,
Alec Baldwin. Is it Alec Baldwin?
And Alec, yes,
Yeah.
Number 5. Believe.
Is that E.T.?
Way wrong answer.
No, God!
It's Ghost, the Patrick Swayze Demi Moore movie. Believe.
Okay.
There you go. Okay, number 6. From Zero to Hero.
Hercules.
Way wrong answer.
No.
Oh, that's an animated movie, isn't it?
I know.
Then would do that. It's The Mask.
Oh.
Jim Carrey movie, The Mask. Okay, number 7. It's a jungle in here. It's a jungle in here.
It's a jungle in here. Oh. Oh my God. I'm trying to think of a film. The Congo? Congo?
Way wrong answer.
No. God,
Jumanji.
oh, of course.
It's a
I'm doing
jungle
terrible.
in here.
Oh.
Okay, number 8. Get an afterlife. Get an afterlife.
Oh, afterlife. It's got to do with a death. Is it Death Becomes Her?
Way wrong answer.
Oh!
It was Casper.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, number 9. Get ready for the ride of your life. Shall I give you a clue?
Okay.
I'll say it again, but in the voice of the main actor. Are you ready?
Right.
Get ready for the ride of your life.
So it's Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, see, look how great my
Yeah,
impersonation
great
was.
voice. But which one? Ride of your life. It's not gonna. I can't. Total Recall.
All right.
Oh my
Well
God.
done.
Woo!
And the final one, I'll do it in the voice of the main actor. Are you ready?
Right.
It's nothing personal. That wasn't as good. That wasn't as good at all. That was terrible.
2. No. It's not that.
What was your answer?
Terminator 2.
Is that your answer?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. right.
Oh,
Well
phew.
done. It was
Oh, we're
4
like at
out
four.
of 10. 4 out of 10. That's
Oh,
not bad.
God.
I do feel that my wonderful impersonations helped you on those last two. I don't think they did really. But that's not bad. 4 out of 10. Well done. Okay, we're back to the proper jobs now. So you're number 5, please, Jamie.
Okay. So this is an out of the box one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Pixar.
Oh, very good.
Yes.
Of course.
So obviously, ILM didn't make Pixar as such. But George Lucas created a graphics division so that he could do computer graphics to, enhance their special effects. And in the documentary about ILM, like, it really goes into that because it was such a big change. And some people moved over to the graphic, and it was almost like there was a division. And some people were willing to learn this new skill, others weren't, others were really reluctant, and blah, blah, blah. But anyway, so they developed digital tools for film, including computer graphics. So they started a hardware project, and that ended up being the Pixar Image Computer. And it was headed by Ed Catmull. No, I've written his name down. Where is it? Ed Catmull. And he is still, or was one of the members of Pixar when it got sold to Steve Jobs.
Right.
So there's a famous photo of the three of them, I think, in a cinema, and it's Ed, Steve, and John Lasseter.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's there. So he's been part of it since. But obviously, this computer could only do so much, and then they ended up developing it more. And then that's when George sold it to Steve Jobs, and he went down the animation road. So,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it did start at ILM, and so yeah,
That's a
I
great
had to
one.
put that in.
That is a great one. That should be in the top 10. I agree. That's a great one. Because again,
I don't think people realize that it is because of George Lucas that we have Pixar animation.
Yeah. Well done. Very good. Very good. Okay, so my number 5 was the T-1000 from Terminator 2.
Yes.
So we're back to you for your number 4.
Okay, so again, this is kind of an out of the box one. I thought I only had 2, but I've actually got 3. So it's 2 things: The Mandalorian, but it's the volume.
Okay, yeah.
What they use to create the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
And it's so ironic, I think, that it's Jon Favreau when he was reluctant to use graphics and CGI like so heavily in Iron Man, and yet he's gone and championed this volume. And I think since The Mandalorian, all his films like The Lion King and that's been done on this. So for those who don't know what I'm talking about, it's a virtual production environment using large, high-resolution LED screens to display in-camera visual effects and virtual backgrounds in real time, creating an immersive digital world of live-action shooting. It combines game engine technology with powerful GPUs to project photorealistic 3D environments that react to camera movement, allowing directors and actors to see and interact with the digital world as it was in real, reducing the need for green screens and post-production compositing.
Yeah.
So when you said earlier about Return of the Jedi and the all those planes, so that would have been compositing. So they would have taken all those scenes and compressed them into one. And that's how they would have all been on that screen. Well, now they don't need to do that because they've got the volume.
Yeah.
And in the ILM documentary, there's this really touching scene where Kathleen Kennedy brings George to see it.
I saw that, yeah.
Oh,
it's lovely.
And he keeps saying, I wanted this 25 years ago. I tried to build this. And it's like his vision was finally done, and I just wish that he could have been responsible for it at that point, but he wasn't, because he sold it. So
yeah, I think it's also because like when they were doing the prequels, and a lot of the actors all said that all they were doing was like playing to green screens or blue screens, and this is basically taken over from that as well. So instead of having a green screen and then they computerized backgrounds behind them, they've got the backgrounds that, and you wouldn't know. That's the thing, you don't know, you wouldn't know that on the screen that it's a big massive screen behind somebody. But it's amazing. I'm gonna sneeze.
Bless you.
Oh dear, I don't know where that came from. But that's a great one because it's the future. It's what the future is going to be.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, and I can imagine that it's also saving money because they're not having to go to so many locations. They can just put it all into this gaming engine and off they go. Another good one now. We're not going to get 5 or 6.
I know,
duplicates.
we've passed it now. We've only got 2.
We are. Right, so my number 4, and I'm going to cheat now because I've just realised that I actually haven't got anything from the original Star Wars, which I should have.
Tut tut.
So the way I'm looking at this is like I said earlier on, there isn't anything that makes me go wow anymore when it comes to special effects because we've seen it all. And also, if anybody, whatever they can imagine, they can now put up on the screen. There's no barrier to what can go on the screen. But 2 moments from Star Wars that have made me genuinely go wow when I first saw it is the opening shot of A New Hope.
Yeah.
The ship, you see this little ship flying. All of a sudden, there's a little bit of laser fire, and then this giant Star Destroyer comes over your head. If I ever get a chance to go to the Sphere in Vegas, that's the scene I want to see in the Sphere. Yeah. This amazingly big Star Destroyer coming, and you realise just how big and powerful the Empire is, and how small and insignificant the Rebellion is. So that was the moment when I was 9 years old, and I thought, oh my, wow, what is this? The next time that I felt like that, apart from there was loads of moments in Star Wars and all the movies that have come on that have made me, that I love, but it was Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. Again, the opening scene, when you have Obi-Wan and Anakin's little fighters, and they're whizzing along, and then they drop over this Star Destroyer, and you see what the battle that's going on. And I can genuinely remember seeing that for the very first time. It was the midnight showing on the first night of it. And I went, wow. Genuinely, and it almost felt like I was standing on like the balcony, and I had to sit back in my seat because you were dropping into this massive battle. And again, that scene I said earlier on from Return of the Jedi, where there were so many elements, this was that times 1,000. Yeah, there were just battles going everywhere, filled the screen, and I think that's probably the last time that I genuinely went wow, a movie screen, apart from Avengers Endgame, but then that's a whole different thing. So I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna put 2 in at number 4. So I apologise for that. I've never ever done that before, and I don't want to do it because I'm kind of bending my own rules then. but that's what I'm going to have at number 4. So I mean.
Well, the opening of Star Wars: A New Hope is my number 3. There we go.
There you go. I feel like that's you've helped me have that decision then. Yeah.
And it was the one and only model that they had, and it was Richard Edlund. Richard Edlund, and he says that they added more bits, to make it look detail and whatnot. And he said that they took the model, turned it upside down, and got a camera on this hanging thing, and moved the camera over it, and then in the editing they flipped it back up, but then ran it backwards, and that's how they get that smooth.
Crazy, isn't it? It's crazy. I must admit.
And that tiny little cargo ship, which he said I think was just the size of a cigarette pack. And then this enormous, and it's the fact that when you're watching it, it's like it never ends. It goes on and on and on and on and
That's
on.
the thing. It's
which
just
gives it that
magical
massiveness, you know.
And
Yeah.
the Tantive 4, which is the little rebel ship,
Yeah.
that design was the original design for the Millennium Falcon.
Oh, really?
That's what it was originally going to be. But I don't know if you, I mean, you're younger than me, you're not going to remember a TV show called Space 1999, are you?
I have heard of it,
Have
but
you heard
no,
of
I've
it?
not seen it. I
So
have heard
their
of it.
ships, which I think were called Eagles, was the same kind of design as the Tantive
Okay.
4. So they went, oh, we can't have that as the Millennium Falcon because
No.
there's this TV show that's got literally the same design.
Yeah.
So the guy that designed it in like 10 minutes went, well, how about this? It's like a space hamburger. How about that? And they went, yeah, perfect. We'll choose that. We'll have that instead. There you go. But that's that's a great one. Yeah, your number 3, the opening of A New Hope, has to be on there. Has to be on there. My number 3, another Star Wars one. Apologies.
Okay.
But again, this was one that kind of broke the mold when it came to digital special effects, and it's Phantom Menace, and it's the pod race.
Okay,
It
yeah,
was
that's
like
a good one.
a 15-20 minute moment in the movie that was just high octane. And I only noticed this after watching it. I watched it a couple of weeks ago, just this bit. For some reason in my mind, I always thought that the score played all the way through it. But it's about 15-20 minutes long, the whole pod race scene. And the music doesn't come in till about 3/4 of the way through.
Right, okay.
Yeah, it's just the sounds of the
The audience
ships
and yeah.
And I always thought that there was music playing all the way through it, and it wasn't. I thought there must be wrong with something. Maybe my sound's cut out or there's something wrong. But no, it's about 3/4 of the way through. Enthralling. It's amazing. It's just one of those things that, like, I wish I'd seen episode 1 in 3D when they brought it out for like a limited run in 3D, because I can imagine that in 3D is just great. I'm kind of coming around to the Phantom Menace a bit more now. When I saw it the very first time, it was the best movie I'd ever seen, because I never thought we'd ever see another Star Wars film.
Yeah.
As you carried on watching it, you realise that the dialogue was clunky. Some of the acting wasn't particularly great, and trade routes and trade federations are not the sexiest things to be watching when it comes to a Star Wars movie.
No.
But now you kind of watch it and you realise that actually Darth Maul was great. The lightsaber fights were fantastic. The special effects were amazing. They were just cutting edge and state of the art. And
well, I mean, you mentioned that Darth Maul scene, didn't you, in the John Williams episode? Because that piece of music, wow, that's probably the best thing in that film.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's my number 3. So your number 2, then, please, Jamie.
Right. Okay. So it's a film, but there's several things in it is the reason why this film is my number 2, and that's Empire Strikes Back.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. So the Imperial Walkers, so the AT-ATs, the Tauntauns, and the cheat shots that they did. So again, like when my grandma had this taped off of ITV in the 90s. I think it was like the first time it was shown, and obviously video quality recorded off the TV wasn't the best. So that probably helped this look even more realistic.
Yeah.
And I honestly thought like that was like some kind of animal that I didn't really know what was, and they just put like a suit over it. Like I genuinely thought the Tauntauns were real.
Yeah.
And now like looking at it, I know obviously like some of the head movements are a bit stiff, but like just now knowing like how it was made, like the actual life-size version, and then like the stop motion, and then the scene. Remember the scene where it's like a distance shot, and I think it's Han Solo.
That's right.
Out finding Luke.
Yeah.
And on that documentary, I found out that it's a shot of Norway, which I've been to, and it's a beautiful place. And they composited a shot of,
That's right.
Stop motion.
Yeah.
Shot, and it just looks, and in the ATT, they're amazing. Like, that was Joe Johnston that designed that. He said that he found some book about I don't know from where it was from, but it was about what the future might look like. And it was a design of a tank, and it had feet, and he took that as inspiration. And there, and I can't wait to see them in the Rise of Resistance, right?
Yeah. Oh, there's nothing better. You see the full size one of it. It doesn't. Seeing it on a film doesn't give it justice of when you're right in front of it. Yeah, it's incredible. Obviously,
one of the cheat shots I wanted to point out was I don't know if I mentioned this when I did the Disney moments, but Ken Ralston. They needed to make the meteor storm, that Han and Leia fight through.
Oh yeah,
to get away from Boba Fett. Well, they don't know Boba Fett's following them.
Yeah.
And he says he needed
asteroid. The asteroid.
Yeah, the asteroid. That's it. The asteroid field. He said we needed to make it like there's millions of bits. So they had made foam ones, but he said that they just hung potatoes on strings. Like, amazing. Like, to think like that. Oh, let's just string up potatoes and we'll just film them. We'll just flip them around.
You wouldn't think that that's the case, would you? When you see it, that's the thing. You just don't see that.
And I think with Empire Strikes Back, for me, it's like the last not to be touched by CGI as such.
Yeah.
Because they're still using the old school that they did in the first one, but they've just gotten better at it.
Mm.
And they've had a bit of practice because they've been allowed to go and do other things. I think one of them might have been one of the Star Trek films. I can't remember. But yeah, so it's like they've mastered what they tried to do from the first, and they just got it.
I agree. But that's why I don't like George Lucas going back and adding bits and replacing bits with
I know, but the 20th anniversary.
It's his movies. He can do what he likes with them. But I really wish he would release, or 20th Century Fox or Disney, whoever owns it now, would release the originals in 4K so we can just see them.
I'm sure there's loads of petitions.
I mean, there is. I mean, George Lucas has said that they wouldn't. They're not his.
I bet you that must have. No, but I bet you that must have been in the contract. He must have. I wouldn't surprise me if he put in the contract, I'll sell it to you, but you do not release the originals, and you do not release that holiday special.
Yeah, I mean, definitely the holiday special.
I mean, I've never seen it.
No, have you not? It's on.
No.
It's on YouTube if you want to go and watch it. It is absolutely.
If I want to torture myself,
absolutely. I mean, I think any self-serving Star Wars fan should watch it. Okay. Just to see how bad it is, and to the look on Harrison Ford's face when he's acting in it, and you can see like, what the fuck am I doing here? I shouldn't be here. I know that I'm contractually.
I love it when he gets asked about it in interviews.
Yeah, and it's really bad and quite disturbing in certain places as well.
Okay, so as bad as the Ewok films?
Oh, worse. It's the worst.
Worse.
I mean, even worse than the Acolyte. Which is saying something, I mean,
I love the Acolyte.
No, you didn't. Come on, nobody loved the Acolyte. Come on,
love the Acolyte.
Come on now.
I preferred it to Andor.
Come on.
I know. Blasphemy. I did.
How?
I did. Oh, I thought it was just boring. It was too slow, and I didn't like him. I didn't like the main character.
Andor.
Yeah.
That was his name.
Yeah, I liked the politics side. Like, I loved Bill Skarsgård's character, like, and the whole, like, how they were. But it was just, I liked the prison episode with Andy Serkis. I liked those episodes. They were good. But
did you watch the second season?
I did.
Oh, you did?
I did.
Okay.
I forced myself because I was waiting because I had read that it was like just before Rogue One. So I was expecting to see him go like to where he is in Rogue One. But
well, the last 3 episodes were, because it was that's surprising. I mean, look, everybody should like what they like. I mean, I just honestly shook my head every time every moment I watched The Acolyte, because it was just the trifecta of bad directing, bad writing, and bad acting, and I just didn't understand the choices that they made. But there you go. Let's leave it at that, Jamie. Shall we?
We'll leave it at that,
because we're nearly finished, and I don't.
I know. We're getting.
I don't want to ruin this relationship, because I don't want us to. We've had a lovely evening.
I can hear the screaming. The how dare she like the Acolyte more than Andor.
I know. But I mean, we've said. I mean, the thing is that with Star Wars is because so many people get bent out of shape about. Because it's almost like you should like what I like. Why don't you like what I like? Whereas
there's a bit for everyone.
Exactly, and I've come to terms now with the fact of things like The Rise of Skywalker, which I didn't enjoy, Last Jedi, but it's like I've got the bits that I love. I love The Mandalorian. I love the original trilogy. There are bits that I love, and no one can take that away from me. And and if other bits come along that are great, like the Mando movie that's going to come out, if that's great, that's wonderful. But the bits that I don't like, I will watch, and if I like it, then I like it. If I don't, I don't. I'm not gonna. I mean, as much as I'm shocked that you said you liked it, it's what you like, and I'm not going to say to you that you're wrong.
It's like I have to suffer episode 3 a lot, because my youngest will watch that on repeat, and
that's why I feel it's a generational thing. We had one of our guests earlier on when we talked about the sequel trilogy moments, and we were having a direct conversation about episode 9, and he said, but you remember that Star Wars is now generational, and he's absolutely right. Absolutely right. The people that loved the Phantom or hated the Phantom Menace now are the people that it's just who it's made for at the time, and they're children's movies in the end.
I know. And George Lucas has said that in interviews. They weren't for kids. They weren't for adults.
No, and it's the adults that are complaining like little kids about it. Why don't you? And it becomes toxic, and it becomes people get clicks on YouTube by hating stuff, and I haven't got time for that. No. Anyway, so you love what you love, Jamie. All right?
I do.
Good. Anyway, so that my number 2 is a piece of animation or special effects, whatever you want to call it, that still stands up today, and it is 32 years old, and it's the T-Rex in Jurassic Park.
Right, okay.
I still look at it now and think, how was that done in the early 90s? I mean, I know that the T-1000 was early 90s, but you can kind of look at it and go, okay, it doesn't look like it is today. When you see the T-Rex, and I know that it's in nighttime and darkness, so it shrouds it a little bit, I think that holds up better than any special effects that you see today. Yeah. That whole sequence with when he's the T-Rex is like smacking the car around, and Sam Neill's there saying, don't move, its vision is based on movement, and that whole scene, just breathtaking. And even now you still feel a little bit, oh my god, they're going to get out of this. Yeah. One of the best bits of special effects I've ever seen.
That's my number 1.
Oh, yes! That's your number 1.
It was, yeah. And I very much remember the first time I saw it, it was a pirate copy. Dun, dun, dun.
Second time you've surprised me tonight, Jane.
My uncles had brought it all the way from America. We were all at my grandma's house. I would have been 7. So this was 1993, wasn't when the rest of the UK had saw it. And we were in our living room and we put it on, and oh my god, and when he takes him off that toilet.
Oh, that's so good.
I had nightmares for that for weeks.
I bet.
But even now, like me and Ben will always do like a marathon. Like we'll just stick them all on. I've got them on Blu-ray, DVD. It's one of those films like Star Wars. I've just got all the versions. And even though we've probably watched it just a few weeks ago, if it's on Netflix, we'll put it on.
Yeah.
It's one of those, we have it on in the background now. And I always end up, like, whether I'm cooking or pottering or cleaning, I'll end up sitting and watching it.
Yeah.
And I'll just be like, and there's so many bits in that between the Brontosaurus, you know, and oh yeah, and like you say, the T-Rex.
Yeah, it's so good. So we've got three. We've got three. Oh no, actually,
is it four?
We have got four.
Okay,
because my number one.
Your number one.
My number one. I did a little bit of poker face earlier on.
All right.
It is the opening of the Ark in Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Right.
It has to be. The Indiana Jones movies are on Sky, I think, at the moment. So we were just watching it, and that scene came up. Sort of literally while I was writing and I'd already had it in my top 10. But when you watch it again, you look at today's special effects and you think, okay, it looks a bit. I'll tell you the bit that really gets me is when the beams of light from the Ark start shooting through all the other Nazis, and even bits on their faces are lighting up like it's going straight through them, and it is so violent, and it is so like their bodies are all shaking, and it's just an amazing piece of cinema. That whole moment, as soon as the Ark lights up, the fact that little bit when you can hear just this faint hum once they've opened it, and they've had the laugh that they've put their hand through, and it's nothing but sand. There's nothing in there. There's no pieces of the 10 Commandments in there. And then there's this little buzz. Wong, wong, you think, and then Indy knows, Marion, keep your eyes shut. Whatever comes out of there, don't look at it. Yeah, it's fantastic. It's has to be my number one. So I did lie to you a little bit earlier. You had it at your number 7, but we got 4. So
okay,
neither of us won.
No,
but there you go. I'll tell you who the winners are. The listeners. They're the winners. They're the winners.
Yeah, because we have entertained them.
Absolutely. Absolutely,
and they all know now who ILM is.
Exactly.
So it's been educational
and entertaining, definitely. We got some honorable mentions. At Movie Jewel Pod said the stained glass night in Young Sherlock Holmes, the opening of the Ark in Raiders, all of Who Framed Roger Rabbit and the T-Rex attack in Jurassic Park. Callie Kastner said, I had to Google what that is, as in ILM. And I'd like to nominate Wicked. I'd also like to nominate any of the massive battle scenes from any of the Lord of the Rings movies. Without movie magic, those scenes wouldn't be possible, and they're iconic. Now, I did message her back and say, actually, Lord of the Rings was wetter, not ILM. And she messaged back and said, Pavo, what? Google lied to me. Okay, then, just Wicked. Basically, any scene from Wicked.
Okay.
I did actually do a little bit of research, and ILM did do the visual effects for the Amazon Prime series, The Ring of Power, which is a Lord of the Rings thing.
Oh, okay.
But not the movies. So there you go. And Dave Spur said, in 1993, the first dino reveal was one of ILM's most iconic moments. I'd read Crichton's book 3 years before and thought there is no way this will work as a movie. How wrong you were, Dave. How wrong you were. So there you go. We've done it.
Yeah.
A tough one, but we've got it done. Jamie, what's coming up on your podcast, and how can people listen?
Right. So you can listen to the Jamie and Stephen Show wherever you get your podcasts. We're on YouTube as well. Not video, but the audio is on there. You can follow us on Instagram, Threads. We have a Facebook page now. Getting up there. We do have a TikTok as well. It's just at the Jamie and Stephen Show for everything, basically.
Wonderful. I'll put some links in the show notes.
Yeah. And season 4 starts on the 2nd of November.
Lovely. And is there anything specific you're talking about on the 2nd of November, or is it just a general
we
chit-chat?
are now in what's called the experimental era of Disney.
Oh.
So we kick things off with Fantasia 2000.
Oh, right.
Oh,
starting from the top, and there's only one way to go. I must admit, I've never seen Fantasia 2000.
Well, let's just say it's, for me personally, it's one of the good ones.
Oh, right. Okay.
Of that era.
Okay.
That's saying a lot.
I was going to say, I mean, is there, when you say that era, is there a lot to choose from in that era?
Well, like I watched The Wild.
The
I
Wild?
recorded The Wild the other day.
What's that?
Exactly. Yeah.
That's not the one with Harrison Ford in it, is it?
No, it's Kiefer Sutherland.
Oh, right.
And
okay.
yeah, it's a lion and his cub, a giraffe. There's a koala. They're from the Central Park Zoo in New York.
Oh, right.
Yeah. And they get out and they end up in Africa. Does it sound similar?
Isn't that? What's it called?
Madagascar?
Yeah, Madagascar. Yeah, isn't it that?
Yeah, it's very similar, isn't it?
It sounds very similar.
Yeah, desperate times. It was desperate times.
Indeed.
But yeah, so yeah, that and Home on the Range.
Oh, right. I remember that one. Yeah.
The cow one.
Yeah. The cow one. Yeah. Wasn't Roseanne one of the
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure Rosie O'Donnell must have been in there somewhere, I think. Maybe not.
No, she was Tarzan.
That's right. She was Tarzan.
Yeah,
You're absolutely right.
We've done Dinosaur, and weirdly enough, there is a connection with Dinosaur and Phil Tippett.
Is there?
Who's the
He was the main stop motion, yeah, amazing stuff.
And yeah, it was his idea.
What, for Dinosaur?
Yeah, he wanted to make a dinosaur film, and at the time he was doing his own. He had his own studio, I think. So he was out of ILM doing his own thing, and he was trying to do something with Disney, and he came up with the idea. Look, I really want to do a dinosaur film. It was 2 years before Land Before Time.
Really?
Yeah. And at the time, Katzenberg, my nemesis, he was obviously in charge, and they kept butting heads. Right. Katzenberg was just not, he just wasn't really. So Phil Tippett heard that Spielberg was doing a dinosaur film, so he just went to Spielberg. Yeah. Then, when Disney found out about the CGI dinosaurs happening, they were like, we need to do something. So yeah, I'm giving my podcast episode away, really.
I know.
Well, yeah, I just love that connection.
Because because I know that he did a lot of work in regards to getting stop motion dinosaurs for Jurassic Park. And then
he did half this stuff.
Yeah, but then some of the guys, another department, were working on CGI dinosaurs. Yeah. And as soon as Spielberg saw the CGI dinosaurs, it kind of put Phil Tippett out of a job, because that was it. Yeah,
well, he's quoted as saying, "I have become extinct."
Yeah. Which is a shame, because he was I mean, the Rancor in Return of the Jedi.
Lovely man. And I love, do you know about him and Dennis Learman, how like they're best friends?
Right.
And their wives are friends, and like they were each other's best man.
Oh my God.
And like Dennis Learman, he was really torn because he was running the graphics department. Yeah. And obviously he knew his friend was doing the stop motion. And when Spielberg saw the clip that I wrote their names down, Mark Dipp and Steve Spaz Williams, they created the CGI T-Rex.
Yeah.
He was really worried about it. He said, I was torn because one side it was personal, and the next it was like, I can't let this opportunity go, because we could do these dinosaurs like amazingly well.
Yeah.
But Steven Spielberg went to Tippett and went, "No, you're not gone. I still need you." And he ended up directing the dinosaurs. So he worked with the guys in the graphics and said, "No, that's not how a dinosaur would move. It would be like this." And like there's scene, the end scene where they have the battle with the raptors, and he's in there with like cardboard cutouts, and he directs them all. And yeah, so he still was very much involved. But
and there you go. If you want to hear the full story of that, then please listen to the Jamie and Stephen show, and I'm sure there'll be a lot more details on there, won't there?
Yes, about dinosaur. Yes.
Yes, wonderful. Yes. So yes, if you want to get all of our gubbins, it's all in the show notes, and obviously you'll hear Neil's dulcet tones at the end of the episode. Jamie, thank you so much for joining us and getting that one out of the way.
Thanks for having me.
I can actually sleep well tonight now without having to worry about my top 10. So thank you.
Yeah, you watch. I'll email you later with another one. You'll be like,
no. Can I change my email address quick? Thank you, Jamie. Thank you so much. Thank you for everybody else for watching and listening. Now let's go start the countdown. Wow.